Good morning. This is Dr. BB, and this morning you find me in the middle of No More Black Pastors. Reverend Al Sharpton, who has been the Reverend of choice and by choice of Black families across the U.S. in times of trouble and injustice since I've been in the world, is now, along with other Black pastors, seen as a distraction to a fair jury trial for the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery. Now, Reverend Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson were present there with the Arbery family. And then the attorneys had the gall to say that they were a distraction. Now, I think that they see them as a threat. Now, please note that this is a jury made up of all white jurors with the exception of one Black juror. And these were the same lawyers who felt that having Black jurors would be unfair to the defendants, who are, after all, on trial for murder. Now, if this is not sickeningly ironic enough, let's just think a minute about the ways in which white people on the far right have been throwing out distractions one after the other for the past, 5 years, and how they've upped their game a little bit to distract us from other things like, the January 6th hearings and any other vile thing they are doing. We are currently headed toward an autocracy. Actually, worse than that, a theocracy. The far deranged and delusional right is now calling for this to become a one religion, one God nation. Now, does this not sound vaguely familiar? Does Iran ring any bells? All these distractions, all this finger pointing is doing one thing. It's projecting onto the Democratic Party and democracy as a whole the vile and evil intent of the far right. It's taken right out of Donald J. Trump's gaslighting playbook. Now, don't get me wrong. I never apologize for the fact that I'm atheist. I don't make any secret of it. I do not believe in a supreme being, but that does not mean that I do not strive to respect the rights of those who do. Now, while I may think these beliefs are foolishly founded in a sheer lack of evidence, I do feel that as long as they do not violate the basic human dignities of others, that fine, be you. But let us be real. The Christian religion was founded upon trampling upon the basic human dignities of others. No, I'm not talking about the mild-mannered prophet Jesus. It did not begin there as a religion. I'm talking about the founding of the religion from the Crusades onward. Slavery, misogyny, xenophobia, anti-Semitism. Yes, that too. Homophobia, child abuse, every vile crime against humanity is founded in that holy Bible. I think it's holy with a little h because there are so many holes in the whole God concept. There are some good folks who believe in the Abrahamic God that call themselves Christians. And some of these are Black pastors, same ones these racist defense attorneys do not want in the courtroom. And I fear for the Black community, especially the Black Christian community, because these far right so called Christians are doing what has been done for years, claiming authority for a hijacked religion. The whole concept of the New Testament was to tear down the Old Testament. And not just the raping, pillaging, and killing, ordering Jehovah God part, but the covenant that this God of Abraham made with his chosen people. The entire New Testament is one plagiarized ancient myth of virgin births, castigated and assassinated prophets who suddenly rise from the dead after the other. The fact people believe this stuff is scary enough. The fact that wars have been fought and lives have been lost in the name of a myth is even more frightening. And now we have Michael Flynn. Remember him? Rallying up a bunch of pot-bellied white rural folks with the battle cry of "This is one nation under one God, and let's take back this Christian nation." This is crazy talk, folks. Crazy. White folks have been taking back what was never really theirs since they morphed up out of nothing. Of course, they are distracted by black pastors attending a murder trial of 3 white racists who murdered an innocent young black man out for a morning jog. Of course, they do not want the jurors or viewers to be reminded of the fact that black people are not inherently evil. Of course, they do not want the white jurors to be reminded of or to discover that black people are perhaps more faithful servants of the same God they pretend to serve. Now, today is a big day for both the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and the trial of those 3 sacks of garbage who murdered Ahmaud Arbery. Both of these cases continue to beat the drum of white supremacy and privilege. The message here comes down simply to this: a white underage kid has the absolute right to take an AR-15 across state lines and into the middle of civilians exercising their right to protest and then get away with murder. Yet a young black man does not deserve to live for going for a morning jog in a predominantly white neighborhood that even his white murderers could not afford to live in. This is the America we live in. Isn't it time we saw it for what it is and do something to stop it from toppling down around our ears before we find ourselves in some post-apocalyptic, non-fictional horror? These are serious things, folks. And I get right in the middle of them for a reason. And I'm asking you to join me. This is Dr. Beebe signing out. I'll be with you again soon.